One of my earliest memories is when I was like 3 years old. I'm sitting on the kitchen floor in our house on Beechwood Drive. It's a bright room with a bank of windows over the sink and counter, and the sun tended to stream in later in the afternoon. And this is where my mom spent most of her time, cooking dinner for my father and I, and if we were lucky, baking cupcakes from scratch. Vanilla with vanilla icing. Oh, and the best part of those afternoons was when those cupcakes went into the oven and the baking smell filled the kitchen and the whole house. One afternoon, Mom was mixing the cupcake batter up on the counter, and I was mixing with a wooden spoon and bowl on the floor. I always wanted to help, but I wasn't tall enough to reach the counter yet, so my mom would give me a spoon and bowl to settle down and let her do her thing. She would pour in the ingredients and call them out to me so I could mimic what she was doing. I felt very important, mixing my own cupcakes along with her, and she would turn and look over her shoulder and say, "That's right, sweetheart, just like that. Now mix it good." And we would both mix away. Sometimes my mom would listen to music as she baked, and this one day, this song came on, and she started tapping her foot and singing along. And I started to bang my wooden spoon in the bowl, keeping them with beat with her. And suddenly she turned around, she picked me up, and the next thing I know, she's spinning me around and she's singing, "You can go your own way, go your own way. You can go your own way, go your own way." When the song was finished, my mom, completely out of breath, set me down on the floor and said, "Don't forget that, honey. Don't forget it." I looked up, her smiling face, cupcake flour on her cheeks and sweat on her forehead from her dancing, and I said, "Yes, Mama." And I didn't. That little song became my mantra, and I took it with me to preschool and then to kindergarten, and I used it a lot. I would march around the playground shouting those words at the top of my voice. I was going my own way and no one was going to stop me. That song was my anthem, and I was going to do what my mom told me to do. But other people started to have their own ideas. My first grade teacher, Miss Johnson, took me aside one day and told me I need to follow her directions. And I said, I was going to go my own way. "Oh, really?" said Miss Johnson. "Yes," I said. "My mom played the song for me and told me not to forget it." "I see," said Miss Johnson. "Well, maybe your mother should play another classic song for you. It's called 'You Can't Always Get What You Want.' Now go back to your seat and finish copying your spelling words." That was the first challenge to my mantra, first of many. Even after Miss Johnson told me to just be like everyone else, I obviously didn't forget the song, but it was never the same. When I was in middle school, I finally realized what the song was actually about, about loving someone and letting them go. But I wasn't sure what that had to do with me and why my mom told me not to forget it. It's easy to sing along to someone else's song. Just be what others want to see. The trouble is, I'm not really sure where that takes me. When I was a little kid, I was told by all the adults in my life that I could be whatever I wanted to be when I was all grown up. Shoot for the stars, rise to the challenge, make your mark. But now all I hear are things like, follow these directions, don't make waves, just be like everyone else. That doesn't leave much room for me to find me. And what I want is to find my own way.